Ну нет, он все про меня говорит тогда. Как так можно говорить, а? Да, вот он имел, за кого-то сдался. Да никому не дался, что ли. Нет, не дался. Так нет. Так куда? Позже. Это как жить-то, как чем, зачем? А что вот тебе, что вот можно сказать, понимаешь? Я что-нибудь сейчас наболтаю туда. Наверное, как бы, ну а ты как считаешь? Нет, ну что, нет, что-нибудь доброго, то есть ты что-то должен, ну да, что-нибудь доброго, короче, на себе, потому что, ну нет, это так, что, ты не умный, не красивый, не нужен вообще. Все это о чем? Потому что я картошки ехал. Не картошки, вообще как бы, знаешь, Не. Да. Виноград. Вот черный. Кстати, классная тема. Ну ладно. Нет, наоборот, ладно, прям веселее. А, серьезно, да? На самом деле. Ну нет, я могу что сказать. Ну не надо, потому что да, не успеют. Про себя они так думают. А про меня, про себя они так думают. Что это значит? Мне сюда, да, что ты полный дурак. Жадина, ну вот нет.
What's up, everybody? It is a blue drake, and today I wanted to follow up on this really interesting project that still doesn't have a name. Welcome to John Lynn's Sandbox. Now, this is a physics, pixel, voxel-based game. That is fully destructible and has really advanced fluidic physics. I had shown a demo of this previously, but I hadn't actually shown the fluidic physics in game, and oh my gosh. Now, this is a competitor to other games like Teardown, or maybe other things that are physics-based video games. There's been a lot of them recently, and this one is one of the most interesting in my opinion. I had talked about previously...
Вот ты умрешь, как бы, ну нет, мы умрем и что дальше, типа того, я понял, ну да. Ну нет, какая разница, что там дальше, наоборот, я понял. Нет, вот ты живешь, там, да, понимаю. Ну нет, не надо, ну, просто то, что, ну, понимает. Как угодно, может, все равно это так. Вот. Нет, вот это есть тот самый, да. Видит, привет. Ну давай, да. Вот это есть тот самый. А, типа дофига избитков, да, или самое. А у тебя амбиций нету, что ли, все. Мне это надо, да. Ну да, он про себя так говорил, да. Работать надо будет. Ну это надо, ладно. Да. Работать вообще надо, да. Потому что деньги это не власть. Деньги не власть, это не власть, я бы тебя понял, ну да. Это как бы дозволение чуть-чуть быть в теме, да, типа того. Ну да, понял. Понимаю, да. А так без денег-то легко даже. Такой вот, это по-детски, с одной стороны, с другой стороны, как бы. Это вот девочкам так можно. Даже нужно так. То есть это женская тема, без денег. На содержание, типа того. Ну, нормально, думаю, какая, чтобы они заботились, чтобы весь муравейник их берег, чтобы, да, типа того, да. Ну, что ты, какая, что ты. А ты что так думал, что ли? Ну, родные, потому что, да. Это, да, ну, а как? Ну, да ты как, просто так даже, так и получится иногда. это нормально, они маленькие, у них они физически слабые, и интеллектуально не развиты, не понимаешь, да? Это эмоционально очень, да, понимаешь. Это нормально, это так хорошо, мы их такими и любим. Это самое главное. Ну, зато у них, ну, видишь, ну, да, вот видишь, понимаешь. Ну, видишь, ну да, да, да. Как ты говоришь, не понимаю это, да. Ну вот понимаешь, значит, так вот, как такое, что не пачкайся, не пачкайся, не пачкайся, это правда, да, понимаете, что да. Ну, у меня тут свои, у всех свои, все девианты тут свои, да. Ну, это нам, да, да. Чтобы тут, что, ты будешь потреблять, не будешь, это уже твой выбор, голосование, да. Как, в каком, да, и так далее, да. Ладно, молодой. Вот, да, все молодой, да. Вот, знаем все уже, да.
Incredibly performant, meaning they can run really well on really low spec hardware, at least relative to other fluidic simulators. And look at this, there's also real-time lighting that interacts with the fluid. You can actually see the fluid will change color, the light will shine through it. This is crazy. And of course, the environment is fully destructible. I mean, because what game like this would get away with not having a fully destructible environment? But this game is really, really interesting. It still does not have a name. I don't know what this is called. John Lynn is the developer. You can go follow him on Twitter. You can go follow his YouTube. He's creating this, and it is amazing. Look at this. He's filling up this castle that he's created, and I mean, you can actually punch holes through the walls. You can actually create irrigation. You can create aqueducts. As you can see, that the water is actually flowing down from the water tower into. This is crazy. Look at this. Oh man, this is amazing. And you can carve out. You can irrigate parts of the world, and the water will actually flow. It's amazing. Now, in addition to that, there's a whole bunch of other features in this game. There's really advanced lighting mechanics, kind of like a version of RTX, although Teardown has its own version of RTX, so I'm not sure currently if the version of RTX that he has created is his own version or if it's using the official NVIDIA RTX implementation. I think that this is his own implementation of real-time lighting, but I would have to double-check on that. And of course, as always, I mean, there is a fully realistic, destructible environment. I mean, this is really, really cool. This is a completely different concept of the voxel-based destructible environment like Teardown. Although this is kind of different enough, and it has enough like one of the biggest things that I think sets this apart from something like, say, Teardown is the animations. As you can see, that fire is fully animated. As you can see, the trees actually blow in the wind, as opposed to Teardown, which is much more static. It's much more in place. And I think that the way he's implemented it, I mean, you can see that the branches are actually swaying, and you can still destroy these trees, you can destroy all of these things, so not only are they animated, but they're also fully destructible. I mean, this is really cool. I mean, you could perceive like a dungeon simulator style game in this. I mean, or anything. You see what's been going on with the Teardown modding community. Oh my gosh, imagine what they could do with something like this as well. And I mean, it's also you can build in this. I think this is maybe another thing that's really different from something like Teardown. So in Teardown, you can't really construct things in real time. You can destruct things, and you can create a level where you can blow stuff up, but this game is almost a little bit more like Minecraft, where you can actually, you know, mine into the ground, but you can also build things in real time in the game as well. So like with Teardown, you can't build a house in game. You have to go into the editor, you have to maybe make it in, you have to make... Make it in the voxel editor, but in this game, you can actually go around, you can actually create things. Look at this, oh man, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Look at this amazing real-time ray tracing demonstration that's being shown here. So as you can see, there's different colored glass. You can see the glass is colored on different sides, and the light is refracting through the glass, and it is actually coloring the world around it. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is the most advanced voxel-based lighting system I've ever seen. Please tell me. I mean, I know I maybe say big things every so often, but please show me in the comments if you have seen a more impressive real-time lighting demonstration in a voxel-based game. Please show me. I think the only thing that can hold a candle to this right now is, of course, the Minecraft ray tracing demo that uses the NVIDIA system. But even that actually has its limitations, and it doesn't. Run as well as this. So for instance, Teardown also has real-time ray tracing, runs much better on lower-end PCs, and from what I've seen, we're going to expect similar things from this as well. This is really elegant real-time ray tracing. And as you can see, I mean, you can mine into the world. You can, I mean, all of the different things combined with this, the building, the fluidic physics. This could be an upset in the teardown, voxel-based, destructible environment genre. It really could. I think that this could really turn everything upside down. Look at these caverns. Look at how the light is just kind of like going through these caverns. As you saw previously, there's different materials that actually have different reflective properties. So, you know, in the marble walkway, previously light would actually reflect off of the ground and off of the marble, but here the light doesn't go as far because it gets absorbed by the rock and it doesn't refract as deeply into the cavern. Look at these god rays. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Dude, every single moment of this game is so incredibly screenshotable. And here's just kind of like a basic destruction demo. As you can see, I mean, you just cause like a little avalanche here. Look at that. That's amazing. Wow. Wow, this is incredible.
Hey, what's up? This is Reed. I've been tuning into CES non-stop for the past week, finding all of the best smart home devices and other tech. There's a lot to go over, but I'll be moving quickly, so sit back, relax, and let's check it out. Starting off first with a Bluetooth speaker for your shower. This isn't any old speaker though. It gets powered by the running water from your shower. Yeah, it's amazing. I've connected a Bluetooth speaker in the shower with an Echo and I love it. But charging the battery was always a slight annoyance. The shower power never runs out of battery though. Samsung showed off a few robots that are concepts and one that you can actually buy. First is Bot Handy, who's doing the dishes, picking up clothes, and bringing you drinks. I don't know how my kids would ever learn how to do chores though. There's also Bot Care, who's like an assistant with a screen on wheels. This is similar to robots we've seen before at CES. But then there is JetBot 90 AI Plus. This name seems unnecessarily long. But this is taking some of the AI and previous concept robots and bringing it to something you can actually buy this year. You can use the sensors and camera to check on your house while you're away. It's all integrated in SmartThings, and there are even automations you can use for your pet. Aside from interacting with your SmartThings home, it seems similar to other high-end robot vacuums. It avoids cords and objects to not get stuck. It also can self-empty the dustbin. Not bad. Another robot vacuum that's getting self-emptying bins is Roborock. It's always worked well for me, and I'm glad we're finally getting this feature. The first Roborock to get this is the S7, and it also has another new thing. It takes mopping up a notch. Literally, when it detects carpet, the mop lifts.
Especially when the objectives refer to the real world, with all its complexity, ambiguity, and uncertainty. So we have this alignment problem, which is, how do we get the objective in the system to match exactly with the objective in our minds? For example, perhaps the best you can do at describing your objective is some code which corresponds to minimize the number of people who have cancer. That might look okay to a first glance, but it's actually not the same as your real objective, since this one can be optimized by, for example, reducing the number of living people to 0. No people means no cancer. This is obviously a very silly example, but it's indicative of a real and serious problem. The human objective is really the totality of human ethics and values. It's very complicated, and it's not clear even to us. Getting the machine's objective to exactly align with ours is extremely difficult. And it's a big problem because if the AI system is trying to optimize an objective that's different from ours, if it's misaligned, even slightly, then the human and the AI system are in conflict. They're trying to achieve two different things in only one world. Right now, these misalignments happen all the time, and they aren't a huge problem, because current AI systems tend to be fairly weak and fairly narrow, so we can spot the misalignments pretty easily and modify the systems as much as we want to fix them. But the more general and the more capable the system is, the bigger an issue this becomes. Because the system is in an adversarial relationship with us, it's trying to achieve things that we don't want it to achieve, and in order to do that, it's incentivized to prevent us from turning it off, prevent us from modifying it, to manipulate us and deceive us if it can, to do what it wants to do, even if we don't want it to. These are convergent instrumental goals, which we talked about in a previous video. Now, this way of thinking about AI, where you program an objective into an optimizer that acts in the world, is obviously a simplification. And one way in which it's unrealistic is that current machine learning systems don't actually work this way. You don't generally have an AI system which is just an optimizer that you program an objective into that then acts in the world to achieve that objective. What you normally have is something more like this. This first optimizer that you program the objective into, it's not some kind of capable general-purpose real-world optimizer. It's just something like stochastic gradient descent. The optimizer adjusts the model's parameters. It adjusts the network's weights until the actions of the model do well according to the objective. So what happens?
Lifts up, so you don't have to draw those no-go zones in the app for mopping. The mop also moves back and forth very quickly. That should help it clean even better. Philips Hue announced a few new products. A new wireless dimmer switch with more intuitive buttons, and some more outdoor lights that are made to look nice on a wall. There's also a wall switch module that controls hue bulbs and goes behind your existing switch. No more killing power to the smart light bulbs. If you've ever wanted your doors to open automatically, AutoSlide has you covered. Their technology can use motion to open sliding glass doors, which looks amazing. I mean, seriously, I've never used automatic sliding doors before. And never mind. They are also launching Auto Swing that you can use for swinging doors in your house. This is great for accessibility and of course, ultimate home automation. I want this. You might have heard of Twinkly, who has smart Christmas lights you can customize down to the LED. Now they're bringing that to year-round smart lights. There's Twinkly Squares, which are like Nanoleaf but even more detailed. You can actually make art out of these, which stands out compared to other